fellas, long time no see. If you have forgotten who I am Megan the Fangirl, here to talk to you about Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. Yeah, it's been so long that I've been reading this book, everything is blurring together. I know I've had probably my longest absence ever this time. If you'd like details on that, let me know in the comments and I'll put it in the next video. It's just a lot, and finding time to sit down and read has not been favorable for me, especially not with a book that I am really struggling to get through because it is not fast-paced in the slightest. Anyways, today we are on chapter 27, which is called Padfoot Returns. Also, forgive me, I'm still a little bit congested here, so if I sound extra funky, that's why. I used to keep a little bottle of hand sanitizer here just so I could kind of sniff it when I had these issues, but alas, it seems to have been taken away from me. Anyways, so Ron finally is getting to share in the excitement of Harry because Ron got to participate in the last Triwizard Tournament Challenge where Ron, Hermione, and Fleur Delacour's little sister all got tied up in the lake and the champions had to go rescue them. Shoot, there was a fourth person, wasn't there? Who did Cedric go after? Was it Cho? Yeah, Cedric got Cho Chang, but because Ron got to be part of that last challenge, everybody in their class is so excited to talk to him. So Ron is finally getting some of that attention that he is so desperate for. And when Ron is telling the story to his class, it keeps getting embellished. So within the span of about a week, it goes from, oh, this was a safe agreement that we went into knowingly, to, oh, we were kidnapped by these mer people and we really thought we were in danger. And Padma Patil is more interested in Ron and getting his attention and getting attention from getting his attention. And then they talk about the month of March being so windy and so dry that the owls are having problems and a lot of delays delivering the mail, and that's creating a lot of delays and havoc. But Sirius finally gets a letter into Harry saying that he's at Hogsmeade. Maybe? It's very vague. But the kids go off to potions class, and Pansy Parkinson, which I believe is the girl that they said had the face like a pug, because that's how you describe a teenage girl. But she is a Slytherin, and she's reading Witch Weekly that's featuring an article on Harry Potter's secret heartache. And it's over Hermione, which the article, of course, by the terrible Rita Skeeta, says that Hermione is both ambitious and plain. And Pansy Parkinson actually interviewed for that article to help trash talk Hermione because, great girl. I don't know how to feel about this because automatically Pansy is going to act in a way that we're not going to like her because she's a Slytherin and all Slytherins have to be bad. But also Pansy's a teenage girl and it just doesn't make sense why she would even have beef with Hermione when she never really interacts with Hermione. Is Hermione seen as that annoying? Like, what is the problem here? But because Pansy talks to Rita Skeeta, Rita describes Pansy in the article as being pretty and vivacious, and they're accusing Hermione of doing a love potion on Harry and Victor. And somehow Rita Skeeta knew that Crumb had confessed feelings for Hermione and even invited her to Bulgaria for the summer, which made Ron kind of upset, and he's getting very like, hey, did you get invited? Are you going? And Hermione didn't answer. And honestly, I think she shouldn't be answering. I think this is none of Ron's business. I think Hermione was right on the money where if Ron is going to be upset that Hermione is going to see somebody else, then maybe Ron needs to step up and ask her out or express some kind of feelings or do something. Don't get me wrong, I love Ron, but he is such an a-hole in this entire book so far. I'm having trouble liking him right now. But because this magazine is out in class, Snape gets a hold of it and he reads the article aloud. And he really seems to be doing this just so that the Slytherins can laugh at Harry. Sorry, I feel a little tongue-tied on that one. So the Slytherins can laugh at Harry. And I just cannot for the life of me figure out, why do they let Snape bully students in the way that he does? Because he is constantly doing this kind of a thing. And especially with Harry Potter, at what point do you say, okay, you've got a weird fixation on this prepubescent boy. Maybe you're not allowed to be around him anymore. We don't need a Catholic Church situation here, Snapey. But it just baffles me. And I've had teachers like this. I know my daughter's had teachers like this. There's always those one or two teachers in your lifetime that are just real bullies, or they seem to have it out for you personally. Like you have somehow dented their day by existing. I don't know. Personalities clash, it happens, but Snape is so consistently at the throat of Harry Potter, I don't understand why the school is allowing this to continue. Because if the point is to help Harry be more grounded so that everybody isn't kissing his rear, then what was the point of Harry having to live with the Dursleys for that decade plus before he came to Hogwarts? The boy's been forced into reality enough, is all I'm saying. He doesn't need a teacher picking on him and making his life harder on the daily. Not to mention, Hermione is one of his best students. She gets everything right, she works really hard, she knows all the answers, and Snape still doesn't like her, seemingly because of her connection to Harry. So not only is Snape reading this article and trying to lash out at a child, at Harry, but he's also lashing out at Hermione, who has done him no wrong or disservice, and this guy just has a petty gripe against her. Again, somebody like this should not be allowed to be teaching. There is no teachers union. I remember enough about the 5th movie to know that these teachers can be fired. But Snape is just jerky enough that he decides to separate the trio in class. So Ron stays put, Hermione gets put by Pansy Parkinson, and Harry is put right in front of Snape. And Snape is up there whispering threats to Harry the entire time, insisting like, I know that you've been breaking into my personal reserves. I have gillyweed missing and boomslang skin, which Harry thinks to himself, okay, he knows Dobby took the gillyweed, and the boomslang skin was what Hermione took in the 2nd year, back in Chamber of Secrets, to make the polyjuice potion. So Harry's thinking to himself, yeah, that's true that those things disappeared, and I personally know what happened to them, but I am not the one that stole them, so this is not on me. And it is a weird middle point, but he's not wrong. But again, why is Snape allowed to do this? Because don't they have something where you can look through people's memories? I swear they did this in the last book. So couldn't Harry go to Dumbledore and have the memory extracted and Dumbledore see without a doubt that Snape has been threatening him for things that Harry didn't do? How is there no recourse for this guy? I'm all for difficult teachers. Those are usually the ones I like the best in high school, because when I got that A, I felt like I really earned it. But Snape is just so petty, and it's almost like he's trying to get Harry to cry, and I wonder if Harry did cry in front of Snape, would Snape suddenly see Lily's eyes and feel bad about it? And Snape even goes far enough to threaten Harry with the ministry-controlled substance Veritaserum, which is a truth potion where one drop would have him spilling his deepest guts to the entire class. Again, why is this memory not being taken to Dumbledore and having Snape removed? There are so many wizards in the wizarding world, I imagine somebody else is qualified to take this job. And then Karkarov bursts in, and he is demanding to talk to Snape in the middle of his class about this clear tattoo that's starting to reappear. And Harry's not quite understanding it, and Snape is trying to get him to shut up and come back later. But come on, it's gotta be the Death Eater tattoo, right? That's what we're building up to here. Although going back a couple notes ago, when Snape is talking about the boomslang skin being stolen and Harry going, yeah, but Hermione took that in year 2 to make the polyjuice potion. Okay, I feel like this is a really big hint, because I don't think, and I could be wrong, but I don't think that Snape is talking about the skin that went missing 2 years ago. I think that this has to be a recurring issue, because I could very realistically see Hermione either replacing the boomslang skin or just taking barely enough that Snape couldn't fully notice that it was gone. For him to say that, oh, I know that this is missing, feels like a lot is being taken. A noticeable amount is being taken. Just like gillyweed, you could imagine Dobby finding it and just going, whoop, I'm going to take this whole giant handful. And then of course you're going to notice like that much is missing. But I feel like Hermione's smarter than that. And I feel like Snape would not be keeping that ledger of something missing from 2 years ago and then just now bringing it up. But it is so weird how badly Snape seems to want Harry Potter to be expelled from Hogwarts, but yet there is no comeuppance for Snape being an absolute terrorist to students. Come on, Headmaster, do better. And I think we're getting Scooby-Dooed right here, because with the tattoo talk with Karkarov, it's making me think that they want us to feel like Karkarov has stolen the boomslang skin and he's making a polyjuice potion, but that doesn't feel quite right. That doesn't seem to connect the dots. So So my prediction right now is Karkarov is going to be an innocent and reformed man, like legit true. And we've got to keep our eye out for somebody else who is making polyjuice potion, and why. Anyways, now it's a Hogsmeade day, and so the trio go there. They find a big black dog in Hogsmeade, and they follow him to a cave that has Buckbeak chained up. And, of course, the big black dog is Sirius Black. And he appears to be wearing the same clothing that he left the third book in. And I'm wondering if he even went very far, or if he's been in this cave the entire time. And even Harry's a little concerned that Sirius is going to get caught. And he's like, nah, I'm just this friendly stray walking around. Nobody has a problem with me. Not many people in the wizarding world even know who's an animagus. It's really rare, so we're good here. But Harry had to bring Sirius food at his behest because Sirius has mostly been living off of rats in the cave. Ugh. And so Harry starts spilling his guts about everything going on, and of course Ron and Hermione are there, and they start putting together the connection between Winky, the Dark Mark, which is the tattoo that Karkarov would have been referring to, and how Crouch and Bagman are very suspicious. Like, Crouch is so anti-everything dark magic that he can't believe that Crouch is not here in person investigating. And Sirius even says, Hermione, you're right about Crouch. If you want to know how a person really is, look at how they treat their inferiors, like how Crouch treated Winky. And apparently Crouch is the one who sent Sirius to Azkaban without a trial. Man, that sounds depressingly similar to modern day political issues. So Crouch is anti-Voldemort, and he is absolutely evil to any Voldemort supporters. So he is basically the bully's bully. He is the good side version of Voldemort, where the ends justify the means in a way. And Crouch's own son may have been a Death Eater, and they weren't really sure if the son was just hanging out with them or if he actually was one of them, but they had this whole big trial, and Crouch just came out and basically gave these lectures about how much he hated his own son. And so his son, at 19, gets put on trial, sent to Azkaban, and dies a few years later. Then Crouch's wife dies of grief because of the loss of her son, and the son's body was never even claimed after he died. Oh shoot, you know what though? After talking about that whole thing with Karkarov and the Scooby-Dooing and the Polyjuice potion, I mean, I kind of want to go by traditional movie watching rules where if there's no body, that person is going to come back somewhere in the film. So since Crouch's son was never actually seen as dead by anybody that we know in the books, I wonder if he didn't die and it was some elaborate hoax and the son is the one taking the polyjuice potion. Or maybe it's Crouch because Crouch didn't really hate his son, but he had to look good for political reasons. And so he sent his son to Azkaban, faked his death, got him out, and now the son has to keep taking polyjuice potions so that people don't know. Oh, what if the son is posing as Crouch and he got out of Azkaban and offed his dad and now he's using the polyjuice potion to pretend to be his dad, and that's why he's not around very much. Like, oh, I see a lot of potential here, but there's not much I can do with it without reading further, so all I can do is speculate. We also get a mention about the Lestranges, which is a married couple in Azkaban, and I think that's the crazy lady wizard we see later. Yes, I didn't know she had a husband, but I'm pretty sure that that's the Helena Bottom Carter. I can't speak today. I'm so tongue-tied today. Helena Bottom Carter witch character, right? Bellatrix de Lestrange, something like that. So I wonder if her husband's in the book. I wonder why we do not really hear of him in the movie. Anyways, Sirius tells Harry, don't come visit him, don't write him, and if they are ever needing to talk about him, refer to him as Snuffles. And as the trio are getting ready to leave the cave where Sirius is, they're kind of pondering the question of, would Percy, Ron's older brother, turn in Fanily the same way that Crouch did? And I don't know. Percy seems to be such a climber in that regard. I kind of worry that he would. Even if he was completely in the wrong, he wouldn't want to know the circumstances because Percy seems to be a person where there is no gray area. It's black and white rules, and that's it. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for listening to me ramble on and work this out. I'm really excited now to find out if I'm even close with this whole polyjuice potion nonsense. And we will see you as soon as we can for chapter 28. I'm really trying to keep up on this better. I've been horribly failing, just way too much to do in a day, and reading takes me so long with my dyslexia, it's really hard to prioritize this, but you guys show up, you watch, you comment, you share, you do your part, and I will do better at getting these chapters out for you. Thank you so much. See you next time, guys. Bye!
If you had fun watching today's video, don't forget to subscribe so that you can see more, and let us know in the comments what other videos you might want to see in the future. Also, don't forget to check out our other channel, The Fangirl, where we talk about all kinds of movies, TV shows, and even books and comics. But viewer discretion is advised. See you next time, Fanily members!